Hiya, and as the title of this video post says, today I'm going to show you how you can feel better about yourself. So you feel better about yourself, stop whining, there you are, job done, YouTube clip finished. No, okay, there's going to be a bit more than that, a bit more substance, and I'm prepared. I've got my yellow pad here and pen. Actually, I haven't got a pen, which was a bit pathetic really. I've only got two things to get ready, and I've only got one of them. So anyway, I'm going to talk to you today about words and phrases in NLP that are called submodalities of necessity. Okay, it's not really necessary that you remember that. If you want to remember it, if you're one of those sad people like I am that has to remember stuff like that, just in case you get asked it in a bizarre quiz competition somewhere down the road, then fair enough, submodalities of necessity is what it is. Basically, these are words like must, should, have to, need to, etc. You know the kinds of things that I mean. Now, when I was in the UK, I don't know if this is a cultural difference, I didn't used to be as aware of these as I am now in the US. For instance, if you think about it, how often you've been in somewhere like, say, Starbucks, and the person in front of you said, you know, I need to get a scone. It's like, wow, you need to get a scone. That's a strange way of putting it. Or I need to get a coffee. It's like, well, probably don't need to. You're not going to die if you don't get a coffee or you don't get a scone or whatever it is, you know, you don't, yeah, whatever. So, but you want one, is what you really mean. So anyway, so what's the problem with saying that, Tim, you may be saying? There's nothing wrong with it, it's just a bloody word. Well, you're right, it is just a word. And there's nothing wrong with saying it on a one-off basis. But here's where it gets a bit problematical. If you use those words all the time, there is a number of things that happen. First and foremost, you restrict yourself from choice. So if you say, you know, I need to get a cup of coffee, or I must get a cup of coffee or something like that, there's no option to that. So if anybody says that to me, I'm like, ooh, well, or what? And they usually look at me blankly, like I've suggested, dancing naked with their grandmother, carrying a frog on our heads. That's probably not, forget that. Nothing to do with that. So anyway, they just look at me blank. This is why I should script this stuff really. So they just look at me blankly and say, well, nothing will happen actually, Tim, good point. I'm like, oh, okay, so why are you using those words then? I don't say why, I never say why, because it's too confrontational. What makes you use those words? So anyway, so using them, when you say you need something, you must have something, or you've got to have something, etc., etc., it backs you into a corner. So straight away, if you think about the physiology of that, of you saying you must do something, if you're going to be congruent between the words you're using and your body language, it's really impossible to say that without going, you know, I must do this, you know, I must have my leg amputated, or, you know, I must, whatever it is, you know, things like the dentist, there's that kind of thing, I must do this. So, but just importantly is that, if you do that, and then you don't do whatever it is, so great examples will be, I must lose some weight, or I need to lose some weight, or I've got to lose some weight, or I must quit smoking. Every time you say that, and then you don't do it, you break a contract with yourself. And that sounds silly, and it's like, well, it's me, you know, if I want to break contracts, but it has a drip effect on your esteem. So if you want to feel shit about yourself, then it's a great way to go about it, is to use those words all the time. So what it does, see, you knew this was going to come in handy, it's probably dried out now because I've had the thing out. So when we say that we must, or we've got to, or we need to do something, it has this effect. Look, unhappy face, doesn't it? Okay. And we don't want that. Nobody wants an unhappy face. Well, unless you're one of those clowns that has the unhappy makeup on, then, you know, you might need it. In which case, if you're a clown, just turn off now and go and check out that. Go and check out the Simpsons, the Quantum of Simpson, the spoof on James Bond, because I thought it was funny. So what can we do to avoid that? Well, we can change the words. If we change the words, we change the way we feel about them. So do you see that was a sneaky look then? See if I got an email. I thought I saw an email come through. God, I should turn it off. I'm a life coach, for God's sake. It'll be there. Anyway, and it wasn't even an email, so nobody's even contacted me. So what we can do is, we can go for middle ground, and we can do something that elicits a flat response. So I'm going to do this, I will do this, etc., etc. So it's a neutral response. So it's, you know, it's just a kind of like statement of fact. Doesn't make us feel, there's no physiological response. In that respect, it's neutral. And when we do that, and again, if we're going to keep the language congruent, guess what? Yeah, that's what it creates. Shh. Just a, you know, not, no, it, I don't know what this is doing to my credibility, but I'll bat on anyway. Right, okay. So what we can do then is we can change the words to more words like I want to, I'd love to, I'd like to, Tim. Yes, I would like to lose 20 pounds. I want to quit smoking. So, why would you want to do that? Use that word again. So what makes you want to do that? Well, first of all, think of that. Think of when you use words like that. Physiologically, again, if you're going to be congruent, you know what's coming, but I've got to do it anyway because my pen's out and I've got my pad here. So I've actually signed a contract. I'm not allowed not to do it. So, look at this. That's what you get. Big smiley face when you say, I want to do something. You know, nobody says, I want to do something and is upset about it. Changes the way the body feels. Thing is with a smiley face is, it's hardwired. You can't smile without having any effect on your mood, even if it's a fake smile. This is something that's been around since we were invented, about 20,000 years ago, apparently I just read the other day or something like that. No, I'm not a creationist before anybody starts. And if you are, go and Google it. Anyway, so that makes us feel better about stuff. Now, people often say to me, Tim, you're not being realistic. And I say something along the lines of, bollocks, don't talk to me about realism, because you set your own reality. Most people that are determined to prove that they are realistic then spend 95% of their time worrying about stuff that never happens, and then try and tell me that they're realists and not pessimists. So yeah, you can, if you want to cling on to realism and be miserable about stuff, it's absolutely fantastic, and that's your right. And if being unhappy makes you happy, I don't know if that would work, but if being unhappy is your gig, your bag, your thing, the one that that rocks your world, etc., etc. Putting a load more expletives, not expletives, a load more adjective type things and what have you there. Hyperbole. That was the word. Hyperbolic. Yeah. Anyway, then great. Say I should do this. I must do this. I have to do this, etc., etc. But be aware that the effect it's going to have on you is going to be a negative one. And I'm a life coach, so I don't want you feeling bad about stuff and imposing negative things on you. So there you are, how to feel better about yourself. Thanks for watching.